Hey guys, it's Josh here again today with another video. So I'm just going to talk about, the stock market today. What we've been seeing recently in the stock market and what we've been seeing going on in the world right now isn't really correlating at all, in my opinion. The stock market is not making any sense right now, and I think the stock market is about to crash again and a whole lot harder. We'll get into exactly why I think that in this video, but just before we do, I would like to see you hit the like button. That would be brilliant. So I guess before we get into it, we'll probably need to go back to what we've seen initially, at the start of this year. Very start of this year, everyone thought it was going to be, just a normal, if not a great year for the stock market. As we didn't really see anything too bad happening in the future, and everything was going fine economically. Then we get that kind of situation that's happened in February, probably started in January, definitely escalated in February and March. The whole illness kind of thing that's going around right now, affecting pretty much all world economies. So I guess earlier this year, due to fears of the illness, we did see the stock market crash a bit. After that, though, we've pretty much seen the stock market rally back and continue to climb. Why is this? And I guess that's really a good question that I don't have the answer for. I don't know why the stock markets continue to keep going back up while like nothing's ever happened. I guess that's kind of the question that I've got in my head, as well as I don't really think any of this is over. It's going to be a lot worse economically than I think everyone is thinking it is. This is why I think potentially the stock market is going to crash again, and it's going to be way lower than what we saw last month, the month before. Obviously, before we get too far in the video, this is all obviously just me speculating, and you shouldn't take this as fact at all. This is my theory, and I guess no one really knows what's going to happen with the stock market in the end. You have economists and big stock market names try to predict what's happened in the short term, and they're constantly wrong. So there's no one that can really predict the stock market. This is just my theory. So first off, we've seen the stock market drop around 30-35% between February and March. And why was this? Well, I think, and you probably think as well, the main reason is that, this illness that's going on right now, it started to escalate. Everyone started to realize, hold on, wait a minute. This is a worldwide pandemic. This is going to affect everyone. Then I guess we seen that businesses had to slow down massively. Some of them had to shut down completely, and then it's eventually led to pretty much all businesses besides essential services having to shut down completely. So now we've got pretty much nowhere is open. No businesses are operating. What does that mean? Well, it means when businesses get no business, they don't need workers, and workers get laid off. We get more unemployed people. The unemployment rate, as you've probably seen, is skyrocketing, has skyrocketed. It is the highest that it's ever been, pretty much in history. And when you get these massive amounts of, people that are unemployed, you get obviously their incomes are going to be significantly reduced as they're only relying on government benefits now. So they don't have much money to spend anymore. And even if you do, or even if they did have money to spend, they can't go and spend it anywhere because everywhere's closed. When businesses don't get anyone spending any money, this hurts businesses' profits. Car outside, not too sure if you guys heard that. But like I said, this hurts businesses' profits even further, and then this whole vicious cycle starts again where, they're not making any money, so they have to, cut hours further, lay off more people, and it just keeps continuing going around and around. It's a vicious cycle. And I believe that's, exactly why the stock market crashed around about 35% or so in the first place. But ever since after that, we've seen the stock market, have a comeback, and it's starting to rally up again. Why is that though? And to me, this is the point where all logic is thrown out the window, because I don't really have an exact answer for you, but this is what I believe has happened, why the stock markets continue to go up further. Seen federal governments around the world putting massive stimulus policies in place and, injecting tons of money into economies. They've pretty much turned on their money printers, and they're getting money shoveled out as soon as they can. We've seen in the USA what initial $300, $600 billion stimulus package, and then again they announced a $2 trillion package as well. Absolutely ridiculous amount of money being poured into the economy because the governments are starting to realize, hold on, this is going to be a massive problem. Everywhere's going to be shut down. We need to start turning on the money printer and getting money out to people. And I think investors have seen that and they think, oh, we're going to be okay because of this. You know, the government's come to the rescue. We're all going to be okay. But I don't think that's the case. You know, you see all these investors, they've seen those news articles out there. They realise that the government's pouring just, I guess, bleeding money to keep the economy alive, and I think majority of people or majority of investors think that this is going to be okay and this is going to keep us over. I don't think it is, to be honest. It's just simply not enough to keep the economy sustainable. If businesses still have to be closed for what, another 2 months, 3 months, another 4 or 5, or another 6 months, it's not going to be enough. If businesses have to stay closed for what, say another 6 months, we're going to see a massive economic collapse, I think. The money printer is not going to save us, that's for sure. And I really think that investors think that the money printer will save us. I think the investors think that the government is going to save everyone and everything's going to be fine. And that's why the stock markets continue to roll, but I think it's not going to last very long. Because this week and next week and over the next few weeks, we're going to see all these public companies that are listed on the stock market release their earnings reports for the first quarter, so between January and March. This is, I guess, you know, this whole kind of pandemic thing started around about then. We're going to see these earnings reports come in these next few weeks, and I think all investors are going to realise, hold on, this company over here, it should be making massive profits. It's the profits are way down, or they've even taken a massive loss. Obviously, we've seen this priced into some companies. You know, we've seen it priced into the Carnival Cruise Lines, the cruise line stocks and the airline stocks. They're already priced in to have, you know, just absolutely terrible, I guess, earnings reports. But we see all these other big companies out here that I don't think investors think that they're going to be affected. But when we see these earnings reports come out within the next few weeks or so, we're going to see that they're going to be taking massive losses or have reduced profits as well. And when investors see this, I think then they'll start to realise, hold on, this is not an easy fix. This is not something that we're going to get out of quickly. The economy is not just going to go back to where it was straight away. And that's when I think a whole bunch of investors are going to sell out of their stocks, and we're going to have another massive crash, way bigger than what we just seen a few months ago, I think. So, what am I going to do, or what do I think you should do now the fact that this is happening? Well, look, I think if you've already holding some stocks right now, I don't think you should sell them. If you still believe in that company, you know, to do well in 5 years' time, or to still be a successful company in 5-10 years of time, I don't think you should sell it at all at what the price that you've bought for. But when all these stocks crash in the next month or so, what I believe, we're going to see those prices come down massively. It's going to be some massive buying opportunities for us to, I guess, get these great companies at very cheap prices. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping plenty of cash on the sideline. I've got around about 5-6 grand cash ready to deploy in the stock market when some stuff all crashes, you know, when it all hits the fan. And I guess once stocks do crash, I will be deploying a fair bit of money into the market, I'd say. That's if we do see a crash or we do see prices go down massively, and I really think we will. Because eventually, I guess the world will go back to normal, the economy will go back to normal. It's just how long is this going to take? We don't know. So if we see some stocks crash and we can get them at very cheap prices, I'm going to be loading the boat. I'm going to be buying a bunch of stocks at prices that we probably haven't seen since what, you know, 5 years or so back, 3, 4, 5 years or so. So yeah, basically that's why I think, I guess, that we have another massive stock market crash coming in, because I don't think people or investors are really taking into account the full effects this is going to have. It's going to take us years to get back to where the economy was at the start of this year, for sure. And I don't think anyone's really realising this, but when everyone does and stocks crash, we're going to be able to pick up some great deals and there'll be plenty of money to be made. That's what I think. So guys, that's why I think the stock market is going to crash again, potentially very soon. Like I said, if you can hit the like button, that would be great. Subscribe if you want to see more of my videos every time I release one. And that's all I've got today. You have a good one.